Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Gardening at Crocs. Today we are in the kitchen once again, and we have a lot of cucumbers. We are going to go ahead and do a canning session here. So we are going to do a little bit of, some call it cheating, but I just call it easy. We're going to do some pickling with some Mrs. Wages kits. So basically all this is you got your water, vinegar, and this you put into a pot, you boil it up, and after you boil it up, or while that's boiling, you go ahead and slice up your pickles. Some of these pickles are smaller, like this one and this one I probably won't slice up. This one I probably will. I do have several really bigger ones that will go slice up into spears. So we'll work on that, and should be a lot of fun. Let's get started, guys. So this is the package. We're gonna do Polish dill. On the back of the package it says 11 pounds of pickling cucumbers, which I probably don't have, but it's okay. If we don't have any extra, we'll just save the pickling juice for later. So it does use some white distilled vinegar. One of the important things on this vinegar is make sure it's got the 5% acidity. That's what the recipe calls for. So that's going to be 3 2/3 cups of that into our pot, and then 7 cups of water, and then this pouch goes in our pot. Okay guys, we get our water in our pot, and let me grab a wooden spoon. We also got our vinegar in there. Now it's very important to follow the instructions in terms of the amounts, because that's going to give you the correct amount of acidity for this. Man, that is really Polish. These pickles are awesome, but not as awesome as the sweet and spicy ones. So we'll give that a stir. We'll let that come up to boil. In the meantime, let me show you what I did to prep my jars. Okay, so what I did with these jars was I have them here in the dishwasher. Keeps them clean and also heats them up. We'll wait until those are ready before we take them out. That way they stay heated up. Next step is to get ready and prepare the pickles. You want to make sure the pickles are clean. So what I do is I usually just kind of wash them off a little bit. Let's show you what I got going on here. These guys here are clean. I've been taking them into a bucket. I do pull the blossom end off, kind of scrub them a little bit. These guys have been soaking for a little bit in some cold water. So for the most part, they should be good to go. I should also state that we're going to do a hot water bath method on this. So it's a good idea to get your water up to temp while you're waiting. And yeah, the pickles are okay to do with hot water temp or hot water bath, because you do have enough acidity already in there with the vinegar and the mix that drives the botulism and all the other nasties out of it and keeps anything from growing. So, and we are close to a boil here. So once we get up to a boil, we'll probably turn her off, put a lid on her, and let her sit until we get our pickles, our cucumbers all situated. All right guys, step one, I think, is we're gonna get all these little guys packed into my pickle jar. Let's put all the little guys in the jar. It gives me some more space on my cutting board. Some of these we're just gonna do in halves. If we can get a whole jar of holes, I like it. I'm gonna love it. That's an oddball shaped one. Ironically, that's my only oddball shaped one. Usually I have more oddball shaped ones than that. All right, so you're supposed to put them in there and pack them in as good as you can. Leave an inch worth of headspace on there. That's going to take a lot of juice, But hey, that is okay. Next, let's get these guys, the halves that I want to get done. These are super easy. You guys can quarter them, half them like I'm doing here, or however you want. I like mine a little bit bigger. I don't know, I think in my mind, I think they stay crunchier when they're bigger. I'm the one that primarily eats these, so I make them the way I want to. All right, and I bet we get 2 of these quart jars. I will say these wide mouth jars work fantastic. And the easiest way to do this is take the pickles, set them on their sides, set the jar on its side, and stack them in there. And if you notice, I could probably get about 2 layers too high on these. So it works out real well. Not really stacked in there real tight, but hey, it works. And you can see I'm just pulling out of the dishwasher as I go. So these bigger ones, I'll take them, and I will cut them down into other sizes. Sometimes I'll take them and cut them so I can fit more into a jar to maximize each jar. Those just look good enough to eat, don't they? And you notice these spears are pretty big too, but hey, who does not like a big old juicy pickle? We can get one more in there, come on. There we go. Looks like I am going to get probably 5 quarts out of this, which probably won't be a whole batch of Mrs. Wages, but I don't know. We'll go out there and check the pickle patch. Maybe we'll get some more in there. We'll see. See how things are looking here. So a couple talking points here. You notice I had all these jars in the dishwasher. After I washed them, I let them sit in there and leave them there to heat up a bit. So you never want to put hot liquid into a cold jar, or a cold jar into a hot water bath or canner. You always want to go cold, 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 or hot, hot, hot. Otherwise your jars will crack and break and you'll have all kinds of problems. Nobody wants glass in their pickles. All right, so right now I'm gonna take each one of these and I'm gonna fill them up to about right here. I'll show you here. So usually about that line is 1 inch of headspace. So once we get them all filled up, we're gonna have to get the air bubbles out of them. So make sure we got enough liquid in each one of these. Getting the air bubbles out is really a simple process. Just take a knife, kind of just dig around in there a little bit. You poke around in there, and essentially what that'll do is if there's any air bubbles in there, it'll release them. And I find out that this tends to take your inch of headspace down a little bit lower. I think we're gonna be good as long as everything's covered up. Next step, simply rinse or wipe the tops of the jars. Make sure you got nothing gooey, ooey on there, or anything that's gonna prevent it from sealing. Take our bands and our lids and get them about finger tight. Don't over tighten them, otherwise you'll have problems. There you go, Polish pickles in a jar. We got 6 quarts gonna go. We're gonna put them in the hot water bath. All right guys, we got our hot water bath pre-heated. Pro tip, put a little bit of that vinegar that you used earlier into the under the water bath. It'll keep your hot water scale from forming on the jars. Your jars will look nice, lot prettier. Let's get the jars in the hot water bath. You see we got like over an inch of water over those guys. All right, let's put the lid on. Crank that bad boy up to high, and once that starts boiling, we'll let her go for a little bit. Okay guys, we got the water boiling. Let these guys sit in the water bath for 10 minutes, it says, for quarts. Nope, 15 minutes for quarts. And then we'll take them out. All right guys, it's been 15 minutes. Take these guys out. We got some lovely pickles here. Now these guys will, over time, you can see the lids here. Over time, that little ting up here will go, and that's the way you know they seal. Once you got them sealed up nice and tight, we should be able to good to go for long-term storage. Now, speaking of storing these guys, I usually tend to store these down in my basement, somewhere nice and cool. And they last usually about a year before they start getting all mushy and nasty. But the quicker you eat them, the better they are. Whenever you need one, just pop it in the fridge for a couple hours, and then you're ready to go. You have pickles all year round. If you guys like what I'm doing here in the kitchen, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. Got any other comments you guys want to put down below? Feel free, critique me, tell me what I'm doing wrong, tell me what I'm doing right, tell me what you like, tell me how many pickles you guys can eat in a year. Cheers guys, take care.